Hello everyone and welcome on into my beauty world. So today we are getting ready so that we can go to Sephora. We have a pretty fun video planned. I will explain it in just a second. So I have this Hale peptide milk that I'm going to start, this cream toner that I'm going to start my makeup look with. And this is a pretty thick viscosity. I've only used this a couple times so far, so I'm still gaining my thoughts on it. So we have a lot of new makeup to play with. So the video that we have planned today is we are going to go to Sephora to do a return. I'm going to return that one size foundation in the other color that I don't need. And we are bringing my husband and we are going to have him guess some makeup products and what they're for. So like I'm going to show him the makeup product and he's going to guess what it's used for. And if he gets it wrong, he has to buy it for me. However, my husband's a caregiver, so I will be purchasing the items at the end. I am not going to make him pay for it. And I'm just going to go in with this topical gel for my redness. So I think it's going to be a really fun video. Now I don't know if this is going to be a long form or short form video. I might end up doing it in short form. So keep an eye on my shorts because that might be where you see the Sephora fun. All right, and I'm going to take my Painterly MAC paint pot. And because I do have some nails on, they are falling off, but I do have some nails. I'm just going to take this really small flat brush and I'm going to paint this all over my lids as my primer. So I've been planning this video for a while now, but we haven't made a trip up to Sephora yet. Our Sephora is about 45 minutes away from our house, and that's the only one near me besides Sephora and Kohl's, which unfortunately I bought it from Sephora, so you can't return it at Sephora at Kohl's. So I do have to make the trip up, and our Sephora is actually in the mall, which is also kind of unfortunate. I'm not the biggest mall fan. But we are going to go to the mall today, and I might make a stop at like Torrid and see what's at that store because it's a different store that I went to last weekend. All right, so I'm also going to put on my sunscreen. So again, as always, I have right now the 50 PA++++ Skinic sunscreen that I got from Amazon. And I always do my sunscreen before I do my eyes so that I can let it sink in and so I don't have any issues with pilling. Because sometimes if you don't let things settle in, you can get some pilling. I don't know. I've never had it happen with the sunscreen, but I always let it sink in. I'm very particular about the order that I do my routine. And this is just what works best for me. All right. Perfect. And then for eyes, we're going to do one of my famous 2-and-done, 3-and-done looks. This is using my What's Up Beauty Dragon Eye palette. This is one of my favorite palettes of all time. Like, it might actually be my favorite palette of all time. So I'm going to take a fluffy crease brush and we're going to take the shade Spikes and Breath. It's going to be these two shades here. So we have the purpley shade and then we have a pinky shade. And I'm just going to tap into both of those with my fluffy blending brush. You do get some kickback, so just be careful. And I'm going to pack this on the outer corner, going into the crease. And this is a look that I do quite often because I have a lot of these like maroon, burgundy tones in my makeup. And this is honestly one of my quickest makeup looks that always turns out phenomenal to me. This palette is absolutely one of my favorites. And I do sometimes like to mix colors, because sometimes mixing the colors just gives you like the perfect shade. And this is my eye that gets a little bit patchy because of my eczema. And I do use an eye cream every day, every night. Not usually before my makeup, but I don't find that eye cream or moisturizer actually helps with it. It just right there in the corner, I have a little bit of creasing always, right up here, and a little bit of patching because of my eczema. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And then we are going to take the shade Powerful. You might be able to see I have a huge dent in here. This is my favorite shade. If I could get this in a single, I would buy this in a single. It is literally the most beautiful shade. It's like this blue, purple, maroon iridescent. So I'm going to take this with my finger, my pointer finger, and I'm actually going to paint this all over the lid. So I'm going to do mainly the inner, and then we're just going to tap it on the outer to kind of get a little bit of sparkle in the outer corners. And I know I'm missing some nails, so please disregard. And look at just how beautiful that is. These like duochrome shades and shifty shades are just so beautiful in this palette. And that's really all we're going to do with the eyes. I'm going to go back over a little bit the outer corner in my crease, just with what's left over on the brush, just to define that a little bit more. And I think that's all we're going to do for the eyeshadow. And then I'm going to use the Quick Flick again. And I'm going to start out with, let's see, this one is the right. And again, this has the stamp on one end and then the marker on the other. And then we're going to take the other one for the left eye. Do the same thing. I'm going to do my best to line them up. Okay, and those are the wings. They're a little off kilter today, but it is what it is. Oh. By trying to fix the point, I totally messed that one up a little. As always, you know what I'm going to say. They're cousins. They're not twins. So we're just going to move on. And for mascara, I actually have a new mascara to try out today. I bought the Clio Kill Lash Super Proof Mascara, the long curling mascara on Amazon. It was on sale for, I want to say, around $8. And I've heard a lot of good things about this mascara, so I really wanted to give it a try. All right, and then before I actually do my mascara, I'm going to take my e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer, and we're just going to put this on the T-zone. To try to fill in my pores. Okay, and then let's try this new Clio Kill Lash mascara. New to me. It's not new on the market, but it is new to me. Oh, and this is what the wand is looking like. That looks pretty good. I got a little bit right here, but that's okay. And I only usually do about 1 to 1.5 coats because I wear glasses all the time. But I think that looks pretty good. I like it. I definitely like it. Okay, so let's move on to the face. So I just got this Tier Mask Fit AI Filter Foundation in the shade 13N Fair Ivory. I'm still testing it out. I'm going to tell you, I don't like using the applicator with it. I really don't like it. It just takes way too long. It keeps slipping off my finger. It's just kind of a pain. So I'm going to not use the applicator, and instead I'm going to use my sponge. Now I did dampen this sponge a little bit, and I am just going to pop my sponge in there to get some product on the sponge, and I'm going to use a sponge to apply this today. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. I wasn't loving it the last 2 days I've used it. So I'm hoping that we fare better today. And I'm trying a couple different application methods just to try to find out what works the best for me with this foundation. And honestly, I think that the sponge is not only the fastest that I've used, I think it's actually laying down the product nice and thin. Yeah, I think it's laying down the product nice and thin. And it's looking a lot better than when I use it with the applicator. So that's exciting. I thought I was going to have to return this, but honestly, this actually looks pretty good today using it with a sponge. So I'm excited about that. I am really, really liking that. What do you guys think? I think it actually looks really nice. Covered up a lot of my redness. Okay. This is a lot better than I've been experiencing the last couple of days, so I'm excited about this. And I don't have a new bronzer to use, so I am trying to pan this Makeup by Mario bronzer because look how close I am. I am trying to use this up this year. So because I don't have a new bronzer, I'm going to go ahead and use this Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpting Skin Enhancer in the shade Light. And I'm going to use my Lunar Beauty double-ended brush to apply. We're just going to put that in all areas that I would normally bronze. I am curious how long it's going to take me to use up this bronzer after I've hit pan. I have been trying to use it a little bit more frequently so that I can use it up this year. It is a couple years old too, so like it's about time that I use it up. And I think I've told you before, but I actually wore this bronzer as my bronzer for my wedding day and my reception. We had our reception on a different day because we got married under a waterfall in Michigan. And then we had a reception a couple months later. Well, it was like about 5 months later. So I used it for both my reception and my wedding day because it's just so foolproof. It's really foolproof. Then I'm going to take the smaller brush and do a little bit on my nose. I usually put it on my nose with the small brush and then take the big side of my brush and the opposite side. Just do that, and then I just put whatever's left over down my neck. I find that my double chin, you know, I don't really like making it significantly darker and painting it down there, so I just do the excess down there. And look at, I feel like we even made some progress just from that. And then I'm still testing out this Hale blush. So we're going to use the Dewy Flush Macchiato Mood blush. And this is the one I got from Five Below. Now, I didn't do a long form video on this, but I did do a short form. So if you're wondering what I got at Five Below, go ahead and see that short form. But I'm going to take this with my Nikki Rose N17. I'm going to do the light fiber side for the cream. And I'm just going to pick it up like this and tap it on the cheeks. And I've used this a couple different times now, and I do like it. I think that if you are, now I can't compare it to the Rhode. I might be able to compare it after today's video though, because I have not been able to see Rhode products in person. So I am so excited to be able to go to an actual Sephora and see some Rhode products, and we're gonna see if my husband can guess some of the Rhode products. And if he can't, I might be taking some home. Sorry. And I've been getting some patching on this cheek, and I don't notice it normally, but I've been noticing it with this foundation. So I don't know if it's the foundation, but this is now the second blush that's been a little bit patchy right here. But it also could be some eczema because it doesn't happen with this cheek. This cheek's been perfectly fine. It's so hard to see this side and like compare it pigment wise, but I think that's pretty good. I really like that. It gives a little bit of flush, like a little dewiness. I think that actually looks really good. So I have been liking this so far, and if you're a baddie on a budget, you can get it done with this product from Five Below. And we just used the sponge to kind of soften everything. And then let's see, for color corrector, I'm actually going to use this Sigma color corrector. This is the Spectrum Color Correcting Duo in light to medium. This is what that looks like. I honestly use a little bit of both colors. So I'm going to take my small little angled mini brush, and I'm just going to dip into both of the colors here and pat that under the eyes to hide some of my discoloration and darkness. And I just feel like with cream products, because my under eyes are so dry, you can kind of like see the product a little more than you can with liquid. Just flick off some of this mascara. Okay. But overall, it does a good job cleaning that up. And then for concealer, let's take my One Size Butter Silk Concealer in Fair 3 NR, which I believe is Neutral Rosy. And then we're going to take the Details by Tati EX4 brush. It's the concealer brush. And I believe this brush shape is actually patented. I thought I saw that when I was buying the brushes. And this is actually, that is actually one of my favorite concealers. And then I'm going to take the Nikki Rose N14 brush for powder. And I'm going to take the Morphe Mini Bacon Set Setting Powder in the Brightening Pink shade. We're just going to tap this in, load up the brush, tap off the excess here, and then palm it in our hand to get it all saturated. And then pounce that on the under eyes, a little bit over the blush, and down the smile lines. Oh. We're going to take a little bit more. Do the same thing. Okay. I'm really liking that. I think that looks really good. All right, so let's do the under eyes. We're gonna go back into my What's Up Beauty palette. I just take the same two shades. So I'm gonna take Spikes and Breath again, a little bit of the pink and a little bit of the purple. And I'm just gonna pinch my brush, dip it in slightly, and sweep that under the eyes. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Powerful on my pinky here. Put that on the underside of my eye there. And I think those eyes look really beautiful. Okay. And then let's do highlight. Oh, actually powder products. So for bronzer, we're going to do my Pat McGrath Labs. It's just one of my favorite bronzers. Again, it's a bronzer I used on my wedding day. And I'm going to take the, let's see, it's the Skin Fetish Divine Bronzer in Bronzed On. And I'm going to take this with my EX1 by Details by Tati brush. We're just going to load it up and pat this where I put the bronzer. And I do plan on doing an entire video about my favorite, like, one and done, two and done makeup looks. So stay tuned for that. I'm hoping to do that soon, one of these days. Now I usually put some powder blush on top of the creams, but I kind of want to play with this cream and see if it will go over powder. So I'm going to take the N17 brush again and just pick it up again. And I'm just going to pat this over and see if it works okay over powder. And honestly, that looks really good. I actually really, really like that. This this blush was like $5, guys. And it can go over powder. Yeah. I don't want to be one of those people that say pick it up, but like for the price, this is phenomenal. Can't wait to play with the other shade at some point. And then we are going to do a pinky highlight. I do my Dior one a lot. Let's do my Bobbi Brown. It's been a while since I've used this highlight. So we're going to use my Bobbi Brown highlighting powder in Pink Glow. Got this from an Ipsy box. It's very pretty. It's like marbled. And I'm just going to take that all over a fan brush here. And sweep that on the high points of the cheeks. Oh yeah, I forgot how much I love this highlighter. Go down the center of the face. I like to hit the eyebrows. Then I take my pinky and do the inner corner. Loving that. It's been a minute since I've used this highlighter, and that is beautiful. Okay, and then to finish off the look, well, to finish off the face, because I still have my eyebrows, I'm gonna do a powder brush. And I'm gonna take my Givenchy loose setting powder in Satin Blanc. And again, this is the old powder that you can no longer get that has talc. I just recently started using it as a finishing powder. And I use it just like I do my concealer setting powder. I get some on the brush and I work it in. And this is the Nikki LaRose N15. And then we just sweep that over the cheeks to blend everything together. And honestly, I really like using the powder this way. It will not only help me use it up, but it does make the makeup look really nice. I use it just like I use my Hourglass powders. We just try to go over everything to soften it. I think that looks beautiful. All right. We're in the home stretch. Okay. So we are going to take the Maybelline Super Lock Tinted Brow Gel in Deep Brown. We're going to spoolie this through the eyebrows. So I'm first going to get my eyebrows coated with it. And I'll do both sides. And then I take just a spoolie that I have here from an old brush set. And I'm going to spoolie that through and try to set them in place in the shape that I want them. And it also helps just disperse the color a little better. Okay, I think that looks really good. Let's do one look at the face. I think this face is looking really good. Let's set the face. Let's set the face with my Milani Make It Last setting spray. This is the original. We're gonna pounce the sponge over it. It is a little bit aggressive of a sprayer, but it works so well that I just deal with it, you know? And we just push that in. And then we're gonna take my fan and we're gonna fan it dry. All right. Now let's do lips. And for lips, I think for the base color for a lip stain, you know, my Huda Beauty one is running out of ink, so I think I'm just going to keep using it so that I can put it in my empties. So we're going to use the lip contour stain from Huda Beauty in Rosewood. I can usually get one good swipe and then it's really showing that it's drying out. I love how plush this applicator is, but I also kind of hate this applicator because it's not very precise. And then we're going to try out this Hale lip contour in the shade Drift. This is from the Five Below finds. We're going to put this on top. Oh yeah, it's more of a pinky. It's more of a pinky color. It does have some decent slip. It's a little dry, but not too dry. You can kind of see the lip stain under it, so I think it turned out pretty good. Put this in my pocket for on-the-go touch-ups. And then do I want to lighten it up? Okay, I did that yesterday, so I wish I could like pull you guys. I think we're gonna do my Tower 28 lip jelly in the shade Sesame. This looks sticky when you look at it in the tube, but it's actually like a really nice formula. Very slippy. It's definitely like a lip oil gloss. Okay guys, and there you have it. This is what the face is looking like today. So let me put this down. Here's my hair down. All right, so let's go over some things that we talked about today. So the Hale Peptide Milk Cream Toner. I like this. It's a little sticky feeling, but you can't feel that when you put makeup on over it. And I thought it felt nice. I like the viscosity of it. I'll keep testing it out, but my skin's reacting well to it. No problems there. And the Tier foundation, this actually looks a lot better than it originally did the first 2 times I've used it, because I used the damp sponge. So I will probably apply it with a damp sponge again. It does get a little dry. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it. It's clinging to the dry patches of my nose a little bit. But overall, it looks a lot better today than it did previously. And then the What's Up Beauty Dragon Eye palette. This is not a new palette. This is one that you've never seen me use before, though, and this is amazing. I love it. 1,000,000%. Go get it. Like, it's amazing. If those are your colors, it is a phenomenal palette. The Hale Dewy Blush Macchiato Mood. This was amazing. It went over powder. I think it looks really nice on. I think it layered over powder nicely. And for like $5, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with this. And then the lip contour. The shade is a little, it's a little pinkier. I know I kind of covered it up. It feels nice. I'll keep testing it out. I'll see how long it lasts. It probably won't last long with the lip jelly, especially over top, but I'm bringing them both with so I can reapply them throughout the day. And then I think that was all the new products that we used today. So thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I think the makeup turned out really cute, and I am going to go spend the day going to make some more videos, and stay tuned to my shorts for what we're doing today. If I remember, I will put in a check-in at the end here that kind of tells you how my makeup wore at the end of the day. If I remember to do that, I will try that. Oh, and then the mascara. That was something new as well. Forgot about that. The Kill Lash. I like it. I think the mascara looks really nice. Not dramatic. It's more long, but I like it. So we'll see how it wears at the end of the day. Hey everyone. So it is the end of about 10 to 12 hours. I did take my glasses off, so you can see I have glasses smudging here. That's totally normal. And my glasses do touch about right here. So when you see some smudges there, that's absolutely normal as well. So the blush from Five Below is doing phenomenal. Like, it's still hanging on, and I only use that, and I put it over powder, and I think it looks really good. The bronzer combination is my go-to. Like I said, it's what I wore on my wedding. I knew it would last all day. The What's Up Beauty eyeshadow, always a 10 out of 10. They do amazing. The mascara is not smudging at all. That Morphe powder, though, does a lot of good things when it comes to not making your mascara run. But I do see that my eyeliner is bleeding. My eyes do water significantly sometimes throughout the day, so that's not too odd. And then there is some wear from the foundation on my chin and just around my nose. But overall, I think that this foundation and the new makeup we tested today is working out really well. So thank you so much for joining me on today's journey. I hope you enjoyed. See you in my next one. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Please subscribe and follow along for more beauty-related content. See you later.